Minority Chief Whip Muntaka Mubarak is calling on the Ghana Police Service to review the operations of its anti-armed robbery squad. He explains that the unit has over the years killed some citizens in a manner similar to police brutality in Nigeria that led to widespread protest. Ghana's anti-armed robbery squad, which is attached to the Criminal Investigations Department, has been in operation for almost 4 decades. There is more in this report.
The Anti-Armed Robbery Squad was set up in September 1981 during the tenure of Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings in the wake of widespread armed robbery. It has been credited for busting notorious robbers, including Choco Spanner, German Cargo, and many others. They have also been equally criticized for killing some persons who some say are not robbers. The unit was renamed the Violence Crime Unit with expanded function covering general crime investigation. It has since been restored to its initial name of Anti-Armed Robbery Squad and continues to fight crime. Some of the men in the unit are difficult to spot as they do not appear as ordinary police officers do in terms of hairstyle, for example. Its men are also often not in uniforms. Security analyst Adam Bona explains why.
Definitely, I'm not holding break for them. Sometimes they step out of bounds, and when they do, it is our duty as citizens of this country to call their attention and call the attention of the powers that be to let them know they are stepping out of bounds. But what I can say is, their strategies, not all their strategies should be put out there, because by doing that, we are probably allowing the criminals to be one step ahead of the criminal, those who are fighting crime in this country. And so as far as I'm concerned, we've got to be a bit circumspect when we are dealing with the SWAT unit of the Ghana Police Service, because as far as I'm concerned, crime levels are rising, and if we are not careful and we tend to bastardize them too much, they would probably feel they don't have our support. That is not to say if there are excesses, we shouldn't talk about them. The excesses must be reported, but we need to be very circumspect when we are talking about their models, their way of dealing with criminality in this country. Even though I know the politicians sometimes will have their way, and the criminals know. So sometimes they commit these crimes under, behind some, behind political parties, which to me quite unfortunate.
Security analyst Adam Bona ending that news desk report. We can now listen to Minority Chief Whip Muntaka Mubarak pushing for reforms.
Look at the way they look. Shabbily dressed. Some of them with dreadlocks. Some of them unkempt hair. If they were not holding guns and they were not in the police vehicle and you meet them by the roadside, your first assumption is that this person is a deviant. That's how you see them. Police everywhere are supposed to look decent and look encouraging to the society. We see that in Europe and America everywhere. Let the police tell us where they are getting this idea that the police anti-robbery unit will go out in operation without uniform. They are wielding guns. They maltreat their suspects. They sometimes abuse them.
Alhaji Muntaka accuses the police anti-robbery unit of acting contrary to the professional code of the Ghana Police Service. He cites the killing of some 7 persons to buttress his point.
The method of operations of the anti-robbery unit needs to be looked at seriously by the police administration. We are seeing what is happening in Nigeria and many parts of the world. It all started this way. And when the right-thinking Ghanaians kept quiet, it grew and became so abusive and so glaring. Now the abuse, it happens in their office, or when they arrest people and nobody is watching. They take them to a place and shoot and kill them. And I've cited the Zongo 7 because that's an independent committee says so, that they were arrested and sent to a particular location and shot and killed. That's what the report says. And unfortunately, these perpetrators, and for lack of better word, these murderers are still within the police anti-robbery unit. I've filed a parliamentary question on this anti-robbery unit. And it is my hope that the Interior Minister will find time to come and answer. But I know the time has run out because Parliament is rising next week for the election. Even after the election, I can assure you that it's something that I'll pursue, because when I want to believe that when the matter gets to the floor, other examples from other MPs will come out.
10 men on Saturday were arrested by the anti-robbery unit in front of the office of the Asawase MP. 9 of them were released on bail on Sunday after supporters besieged the Central Police Headquarters. But one of them, Audu Sulemana, popularly called Scorpion, remained in police custody accused of robbery. Alhaji Muntaka claims the said suspect has been an NPP activist who recently defected to the NDC and is being held for political reasons.
We know they are being used by the ruling government to foment trouble here. They want to push us to the wall so that when we act, they say, aha, you see how the NDC guys are behaving. We are civil. We will continue to remain calm. We want to act within the law, but we are urging the police to be mindful of these NPP people that try to use them to act.
He wants the youth in the Asawase constituency and all Zongos to exercise restraint as the matter goes through court. For Joy News, Nana Ojima reporting.
So let's stay a little while on this particular group. We'll take you through their core functions if you like, but I want to hear from you. Is this something that you're familiar with? In fact, most of people say they're not familiar with this, and that anybody at all could go out there dressed this way with a gun and can always say, I am with the police anti-robbery task force, anti-robbery squad, I beg your pardon. What do you think? I want to hear from you. The number is 0540109009. That's the number on your screen right now. Let's hear from you, and we'll share it with the rest of the world. But I'll take you through. We'll be connecting very soon with our correspondent in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. But let's take a look at the functions of this particular unit. That's if you go to police.gov.gh. That's police.gov.gh/armed robbery squad. This is the information that's available there. It says the main mandate or core duties of the unit include investigation of robbery cases, possessing of firearms and ammunition without lawful excuse, use of authorized weapons for land guard activities, and any other cases that are referred to the unit by the police administration. So these are the things that they're supposed to investigate: robbery, possession of firearms and ammunition without lawful excuse, use of authorized weapons for land guard activities, and any other cases that are referred to the unit by the police administration. It goes on to say that the unit, as part of its crime prevention mechanism, embarks on night patrols. It also collaborates with the intelligence unit and other units to periodically carry on swoops at some notable crime-prone areas, as well as the anti-terrorism within civilian facilities in Accra. Again, it says that the unit updates the administration of various modus of operation employed by perpetrators of all facets of robbery and car snatching for public education. And then it says the unit also assists local police stations in the investigating cases of violence outbreak relating to chieftaincy and land dispute. Let me go over to Kumasi and speak to Erastus Asari-Donko. He's a member of our security desk here at Joy News. Hello, Erastus.
Yeah, Gifty.
Erastus, let me start with this. Now, we've just gone through the duties or the core mandate of this particular group of people. But what was happening yesterday, I don't really see it on the list here in terms of what they were doing. Can you explain to us if the police in Ashanti region has been giving you any further details about why this group was out there working with the police? Whereas if you look at the core mandate, we don't find that as part of what was happening yesterday. Help us understand this.
Well, I can speak to their appearance,
okay,
which, in fact, if you, on the first spot when you look at them, what goes on through your mind is whether these are criminals. To be fair and to be candid, they are dressing, some of them are wearing earrings, some of them are wearing hooded material normally worn by the so-called Akata people. And so you find some of them in combat boots, in apparel that looks dirty, like somebody who is from the streets. That is how many of them look like. Their guns are on the, I'm not too familiar with the parts of the gun, but on the bullet part, you see labeled blue. And then the other handle is labeled blue as well. So they have blue markings, tips, used to wrap the bullet handle and then some parts of the gun. That is what differentiates them from the SWAT team, who are properly dressed in police attire, police gear, and all that. But with these people, you find them dressed like the normal guys you meet on the streets. How some of the people from the ghettos look like when they come on the streets. That's how they look like.
Has the police in the Ashanti region been giving out any information about the operations of this team or this group of people and why they were out there with the police, uniformed police, yesterday?
No, it has not come for discussion. Perhaps that is why the police have not given any details about what their operations are and how they are supposed to behave and what their duties are. But from the way I see it, from my layman point of view, I think maybe they go underground and engage in a number of activities. And so perhaps that is why they are dressed that way, to be able to mingle. But if they go underground, then you ask yourself why they are used for day-to-day activities where their face are showing, they are holding guns and moving in that manner. Whether that is appropriate security-wise. And so as for the police, it has not come up for discussion, and we've not had any explanation from them. Okay,
hopefully we'll get some explanation from the police on this. But Erastus, before you go, of course, we've had some security analysts, Adam Bona, for example, explain to us how this group operates, which somehow explains, their apparel and stuff. But it would be good to hear from the police. Erastus, before I let you go, I just want to find out what people are saying following this incident yesterday. What are people saying in Kumasi?
Well, there's not much talk about it in the general Kumasi. And when you go to Aswance, that is where people are worried, because these are people you hear some of them talking about the fact that they know them not to be armed robbers. They are with them. There's a guy who works with who has his own type of work. There are people who also think that, well, these are people who are questionable, and so they don't know why the MP is defending them. And so there are mixed reactions when it comes to Aswance constituency proper, where they were arrested. There are people who think that they were having their supper, they've come from a mini rally, they don't expect the police to come in such a manner and swoop on them and arrest them if there is no hidden motive. There are others who think that if they have no crime to answer for, why won't the MP allow them to go through the mail? At the end of the day, they will be exonerated. And so there are mixed reactions concerning this development.
Erastus, thank you very much. Erastus Asari Donko there is a member of our security desk, and we're talking about a group of armed, ununiformed men who were working with police in the Ashanti region yesterday. And it looks like a scene that many people haven't seen, perhaps in a very long time. We've had conversations with the security analyst who has been explaining why perhaps if this group are members of the anti-robbery squad, you see them presented differently from the usual police officers we know. We're still pursuing more answers from the police service. We'll tell you when they give us anything more.